everyone wants to skip pain and get to the results, get quick results in, don't have to go through hardship or make sacrifices. They simply want to make money quickly and as easily as possible. But all the while, the actual shortcut is going through pain. So this is what I'll be going into today in this video. So let's dive right into it. So if you don't know who I am yet, I'm Lars. I've built my own e-commerce store up to $9 million in revenue called Nancy Home Store. And now I'm helping other e-commerce stores to essentially do the same thing and just make a bunch of money. And I can assure you that the only reason that I got there was because I went through that pain. I went through the trial by fire. So the trial by fire is basically you doubting yourself, doubting what you're doing, you waking up in the middle of the night, not knowing if all of this is ever going to pay off, you doubting yourself, basically all these different things in your head that are going to prevent you from doing the work are all part of this trial by fire. And once you beat it and you basically succeed in that trial, you'll go to that next level in terms of your income, in terms of your revenue level and everything. So that's essentially the key to making a bunch of money. And it sounds very simple, right? Just going through a ton of pain, but it's not as simple as it sounds, because it's essentially human nature to avoid pain. It's pain avoidance as one of the most prominent ways that people preserve themselves. So that's why while you're doing this, you're literally going through hell, because your whole body is going to scream at you, telling you to stop it, because it's never experienced anything like it before. What I can tell you is it's 100% worth it. So when I started my brand Nancy Home Store, I thought I was doing it for freedom, but what I got was a ton of stress, a lot of customer complaints, a big team to manage, always problems on the horizon that I, as being the owner of the company, naturally have to solve, right? As the owner of the business, naturally the big problems that your employees are unable to solve will come on your plate. So that's basically what I learned very quickly after starting my brand and starting to get success in, was that it's just a ton of pain that you have to chew up essentially. And by chewing up that pain, you will get to that next level and eventually you will get to that freedom. But it's not a smooth ride, of course. You can essentially think about this as you having to do more than all of your competition out there. So if you want to make $100,000 a month, then you have to be willing to put in sacrifices that your competition is not willing to put in to reach $100,000 a month. And to reach $100,000 a month, you have to sacrifice less than to reach $1 million a month, for example. So that's basically how you can think about this. The more success you want, the higher your pain tolerance will have to be. Essentially, the more often you'll have to face this trial by fire, you have to succeed this trial to keep ascending in your level of income for your business. And one thing I can tell you that will help you a lot to manage this pain and to keep going through this pain is to build some tools for yourself to stay more rational when things sort of heat up. So what I did is I basically built an entire tracker for my business. So essentially one big Google sheet that I every day had to fill in some numbers for my ads, my sales, basically all my website statistics, my refunds, basically all the different metrics that were important to track the health of my business. And that way I would have a very solid understanding objectively of how my business was doing, instead of me getting 5 customer complaints on a day and completely catching me off guard and being sort of wiped out for the whole day. Instead of that, letting that happen, I would just look at my Google sheet, look at the numbers for the total month, and I would see that I was still completely fine, right? So basically with this tool, I had a completely objective understanding of my whole business, which on those painful days that a lot of stuff would be going on, I would be able to still manage my emotions a bit better. Don't get me wrong, it'll still get intense, but these tools you have to just build in for yourself in order to make yourself be as rational as possible on these particular like very hard days, right? I also see this with my clients, the clients that stay the most rational, that think the most long term, and just build some of these tools in there to just have data to lead by, just get the farthest, the quickest, honestly. So I hope this all made sense, and essentially this made clear to you that if you're ever feeling doubt about your business, or you don't feel like building your business, you're sabotaging yourself from actually putting in the work, then you're actually doing the right thing and you're on the right track, and you just have to keep pushing through that pain, pushing through the doubt. If you are thinking that your Shopify store is not going to work, it's actually quite likely to work if you just keep working on it. So just want to make that very clear to you. So let me know, of course, if there are any questions in the comments down below. I read all the comments myself. Also, there's a link to my website in the description. It talks a bit about how we help our clients to grow their e-commerce sales, so feel free to check it out. I don't care if you click it or not. I just hope you got a ton of value out of this video. So thank you so much for your attention, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.